Hello, you are joining me back in the South Wales valleys. It's nearing midday and we're walking up towards Cefn y Brithdir and we're looking at doing a bit of a circular walk. I'm not entirely sure how long yet, I've just noted it roughly on a map, but obviously the full details and route when it's finished will be on the website walkingcef.co.uk, so you'll be able to see and download the route and see where I parked and all the rest of it. So we're starting by following the Rhymney Valley Ridgeway walk, which at the start was really overgrown, so I'm wearing shorts and I've already got legs scratched and covered in stinging nettle marks as well. You can see behind me now the views are opening up as we get to the top of this first little ridgeway, and at least all of the stiles and gates are properly there and maintained, and hopefully the rest of the path will be quite nice now. I know when we get towards Cefn y Brithdir it's actually a country lane goes over the top there, so we can stick to that and have some really easy walking. Now I imagine this is a place that's not particularly well walked. It should be pretty peaceful up here, and I've walked it once many years ago when I walked up to Cefn y Brithdir, about 22 miles up to the nearest mountain to me, but that day really misty and foggy and rain, didn't really have any views, so it'd be nice today to get the views. There's chance of some heavy downpours, but it's pretty nice to walk in. Hopefully we get some nice skies. The walk up, apart from the overgrowth, has been quite pleasant, seeing the views open up as we get a little bit higher, and we're going to pass a couple of points of interest that are on the buzzard way as well. So that's the last time I was up here, was just crossing over to do the buzzard way. So today we're going to spend longer on the main ridgeway, and I'm hoping to find another CEM bench as well. Someone messaged me on YouTube on the comments saying that they'd found number 178, I think, up here a couple of days ago, so I'm going to try and find that at the same time. Not short on options, a few different ways we can go, but we're going to follow the footpath right and stick to the Rhymney Valley Ridgeway. So we're going to drop down to a little bit of a valley, then up the other side, and that's going to bring us onto Cefn y Brithdir. And again, I'm probably pronouncing that completely wrong, but there you go. I'm always reading these places, I don't actually hear them being pronounced by someone who knows what they're on about. So they try and locate you. We're looking south now, and you can just about see, I think, in the distance, the hills of Exmoor and the moors, but Pontypridd is down there somewhere. The hill with the 3 towers on the top is Cefn y Brithdir. Again, butchered the pronunciation. And around there you've got Mynach y Brithdir, the spoil tips. Then around there you've got the hill opposite my house, which is Mynach y Brithdir. And then over there you can just about make out some more comms towers. There's Mynach y Lan, where I camp a lot locally. Then over there you've got Tumbalum and that whole ridgeway which we covered off on the buzzard way. So really good views from up here already. So we're going to head down here now, dip into that valley, and then go up to this hill on the other side where you can see again the remnants, the sort of styled remnants of some of the old spoil tips that have now got a covering of grass and overgrowth on them. So I've been inspired to record this little route because I've been watching a few little channels recently that are doing a few walks around South Wales. So Brecon Beacons and Beyond, and also Plod on Steady. A couple of channels showing some different areas, some different hills, some different places to walk, and particularly Brecon Beacons and Beyond, he's been doing a couple of more local South Wales walks recently. He's stepped away from the Brecon Beacons for a little bit, and it's just really good seeing people doing little videos of places. Some places I know quite well, some places I've never visited but definitely want to visit as a result of watching them. So I figured out for a little walk today in a place that probably doesn't get very much attention online, but it is a beautiful place to walk and explore. So I figured I would just record the video And I'd also give a shout out to those two channels, because that's something that seems to be happening a bit more in the kind of YouTube hiking and walking community. So it's really good to see it's become quite active now, and it's not just people walking the same Wainwrights up in the Lake District or Peak District, wherever, and the same kind of places in Snowdonia. It's actually people exploring the South Wales valleys and exploring the interesting convergence of kind of fly tipping, littering, and general lack of respect for the valleys, and also the beauty and the ruggedness and the bleakness and all the rest of it, and the isolation that you do get here as well. So the South Valleys is full of contradictions, but it's well worth exploring. Wow, I'm very glad to finish that section, because it's just totally overgrown little parts of the footpath there, and the worst combination of really tall bracken interspersed with stinging nettles, so you can't just sort of barge through without getting stung. So it took quite a while to get through this, like probably 10-metre section of just stinging nettles. And yeah, my legs are just covered in stings again, so perhaps I should really start wearing trousers, but it's a very, very muggy day, although now the sky is looking really nice, very dramatic, very nice sky. And so far, I don't want to jinx myself, but we've avoided any real rain. And we're now on a nice stretch of walk, which should be completely easy and should really pick up the pace. And we're at a couple of historical locations as well. I'll pop a link in the pinned comment, but there's a load of these stone monoliths in this part of the world, because there's like I think it's like a 7 or 8 mile circular walk from Park and Durham, which takes in all of these areas. So these monoliths explain the bit of history. So this is the Cefn y Brithdir monument. So as you can read off, an ancient 7th century monument found embedded in the walls of Cefn y Brithdir, and that's now been moved to a little church in Bargoed, and there's a replica here. So it's a real shame that they knocked this chapel down, really. I mean, I guess it is in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, there's lots of really ancient gravestones here. Very peaceful part of the world, and a resting place for people who died a very long time ago. You can still read a lot of the inscriptions, but some of them are in a very poor state of disrepair now. And it's a bit of a sun trap as well. It's really, really warm here. And some random bits and pieces have been left behind there. But fantastic views. Pretty good clear text on this one. In memory of Sarah Ann, beloved wife of Alfred Pierce, who died December the 5th, 1899. Also of Alfred Thomas, John and Emily Maud, their children who all died in infancy. So that's always interesting to me. People now who are very sceptical about vaccines and stuff, and who talk about their natural immunity being all powerful and stuff, just come to any old graveyard and you'll just see hundreds and hundreds of graves to kids who died in infancy very young, because people died all the time because we're not actually very good immune systems at all. Vaccination has saved millions, hundreds of millions of lives, and has made childhood now something we all take for granted, not people being buried in their ones and twos because of simple diseases that we just know we have the vaccines to now. So another monolith, this time it's a massive monolith, and this is to the Taganaka stone, which is now in St Fagans, just above Cardiff. I've seen it there before, so it's a properly inscribed stone, but now there's just another little monolithic stone where it originally was. So I'm not going to bother going over to it because it doesn't actually look anything like the stone that's been removed. This section of the walk is going to be really, really easy because it's just big wide tracks, and once we get off this little dirt track there's just a nice easy road to follow. So very, very nice. We should have really good views all around. The sky's looking lovely as well. So I should be able to get a good bit of pace on now. And what I'm looking for is another CEN bench. So I know there was one up here somewhere, but this is quite a big, wide open space up here, so I've no idea where it's actually going to be. So I'm just going to walk along the ridgeway as far as I can, and hopefully we'll find it. Well, I was walking alongside the road, heading towards that tower you can see in the distance, and there's a little grassy jeep track heading up the top of the hill, so I thought I'd follow that just to see if there was a bench off of there, because sometimes top of a hill, that's where he puts the benches. So walking across this very, very pleasant bit of grassland and scrubland, thinking what a perfect place it would be to camp, looking at the rain come down the Brecon Beacons, and then in the middle of nowhere, just look at the state of this. This is sadly one of the elements of the South Wales valleys that are just really depressing, because we are really in the middle of nowhere here, and you can see there's just a little grassy track which goes on for miles, and yet someone's driven out here and dumped just tons and tons and tons of rubbish. I just cannot get my head around why people do this. I mean, the effort it's taken them to come up here and dump all this stuff, including remains of a tent as well. I just cannot believe people do this. And this is actually something from Banks by the looks of it. An old hi-fi system. Just tons and tons and tons of rubbish. Just why would you do this? I mean, just look at the views from up here. See miles and miles and miles and miles west. You can see right the way pretty much down to the sea. Absolutely beautiful. And then you've got just this. People of the South Wales, like, what is wrong with you? Because this is not, the fly tipping's one thing, but just the general litter you see on every single verge, every single road, country lane, dual carriageway, motorway, people just heaving stuff out the windows. It's just something wrong with people. And it would be such a great place to camp a bit. The grass is lovely and short. It's obviously well trimmed by the sheep that are up here, but there are definitely big patches like here where there's not much sheep rubbish to move out the way. And the views are incredible. And the other thing is, instinctively taking that little track over the top, I could see in the distance another CEN bench, well, I'm hoping it's a CE bench, on this little hill with these absolutely amazing views. So I'm hoping it is definitely one of these benches, and we'll have a look at what number it is. So here we are. You can see why he's put a bench here, because the views are just incredible. Although sadly you can still see the fly tipping from here. But yeah, this is exactly what these CE benches are all about. Just located in the middle of nowhere, some of them, but with just the most amazing views. And it is lunchtime, so I'm going to sit down, have a snack, have a drink, and enjoy this amazing bench. I've shot a time lapse of some of the views. I've had a bit of a snack and a drink. A little bit chilly up here in the breeze and the sun gone in, but I'm going to head on north a little bit, and then we're going to cut left back down to Parkham Down and walk back along a really nice, easy, gentle cycle route. So should be a nice, easy section to walk now, and I'll keep you bringing you back when there's some more views or if I've found any more horrific examples of fly tipping. The walk back was really, really nice. We're almost at the car now. It's going to be about 8 miles in total, so I will share the route. And it was a really, really good walk, really good route. Notwithstanding a couple of little sections that are overgrown, but they were only quite short and I made it through those. And then apart from that, just the fly tipping really in a couple of locations, but it was a really beautiful location. We had amazing views, a couple of new paths that were really, really pleasant walking with great views down the valley. And this last section, obviously very, very easy down there, well signposted, well walked, a couple of cycle routes. So a really nice, easy finish of the walk. And you could have dropped a little bit further up and gone to Park Darren to walk around the lake, and you could have had a bit of food in the visitor centre as well. So definitely an 8-mile walk with potential for a break after about 5 and a bit miles. So really, really good walk, amazing views, the Central Brecon Beacons, the Black Mountains, all the South Wales valleys down to the sea. So yeah, fly tipping and a couple of overgrown paths. Apart from that, it was a really, really perfect South Wales Valleys walk and one of the better walks I've done so far this year. So highly recommended. You can find the route on my website, thewalkingkeb.co.uk, where I parked, free parking as well, and details of the route and all the ascent and descent and stuff. But apart from that little steep bit at the start, it's really been pretty gentle the rest of the way, and obviously a very, very flattish walk back to the car once you drop down into the bottom of the valley. So if you've enjoyed the video, do drop it a like. If you want to see more hiking videos and gear reviews and wild camping and stuff, do subscribe to the channel. And obviously if you do want to have inspiration for walking in South Wales, then visit the website and you'll find loads of different routes that you can follow all across the South Wales valleys and beyond. Anyway, if you made it to the end of the video, well done, good endurance, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.